What's up, Faithful Nation? My name is Chris, and today we need to talk about the rumors that walk around San Francisco. Let's start with the name that nobody expected to dominate trade conversations, Mac Jones. Yes, Mac Jones. The former first-round quarterback has suddenly become one of the most intriguing chess pieces on San Francisco's board. League insiders are whispering that the 49ers could explore flipping Jones for either valuable draft capital or immediate defensive help. And when we say defensive help, we're not talking about depth pieces, we're talking about impact players. Why would the 49ers consider this move? Simple. This is a team built to win now. In the brutal landscape of the National Football League, you don't sit on assets if they can be converted into pass rush production or premium draft picks. If another quarterback-needy franchise gets desperate, San Francisco could capitalize. Imagine turning a backup quarterback into a day 2 pick, or packaging him in a deal that brings a proven edge rusher to the Bay. That's the kind of aggressive front office thinking that keeps championship windows open. And that leads us to the second bombshell rumor, the 49ers hunting for elite defensive reinforcements. One name that keeps surfacing in speculation is Max Crosby. Just imagine that for a second. Max Crosby in red and gold, pairing an elite, relentless edge presence with an already dangerous defensive front would instantly send a message to the entire NFC. The 49ers are not taking a step back, they're doubling down. Would it cost a fortune in draft picks? Absolutely. Would it require cap gymnastics? Without question. But contenders make bold moves, and the idea of adding a game-wrecking defender like Crosby isn't just fantasy talk. It's the type of blockbuster swing that has defined aggressive Super Bowl pushes in the past. The 49ers know their championship window won't stay open forever. The pressure is on to maximize every season. But just when you think that's enough drama, another storyline explodes into the spotlight. Brandon Ayuk. Ayuk has been one of the most dynamic weapons in the 49ers offense, a precise route runner, a deep threat, a game changer. And yet, rumors continue to swirl that he could be viewed as a trade asset if contract negotiations and long-term financial planning collide. This is where things get complicated. San Francisco has major money committed across the roster. Big stars, big extensions, big expectations. At some point, the bill comes due, and when that happens, even elite players can become part of difficult conversations. If another team offers a massive package of picks, would the 49ers listen? They might not be shopping him, but in the NFL, not shopping doesn't mean not answering the phone. Trading Ayuk would shock the fan base. It would send shockwaves across the league, but it could also reload the franchise with draft capital or help balance the books for future extensions. It's the classic contender's dilemma. Keep every star and squeeze the cap, or sacrifice one piece to strengthen the machine long term. So here's the big picture. The 49ers are standing at a crossroads. Do they flip Mac Jones to fortify the defense? Do they swing for a superstar pass rusher like Max Crosby and go all in on a championship run? Or could Brandon Ayuk become the surprise domino that reshapes the roster? One thing is certain. When a team this talented starts appearing in trade rumors, it's not random noise. It's a signal that the front office is exploring every possible path to stay on top. And in a league where hesitation kills title hopes, boldness can define legacies. The question isn't whether the 49ers will make a move. The question is how big that move will be. Picture this, a legend of the league, one of the toughest, most feared wide receivers of his generation, suddenly hitting the open market and looking for a new home. And that home could be the 49ers. Yes, you heard that right. Mike Evans, the big-bodied pass-catching machine who has dominated defenses for over a decade, has announced he plans to continue playing in 2026 and will explore free agency instead of just re-signing with the Buccaneers. Now stop and let that sink in. Mike Evans walking into Levi's Stadium. Evans locking horns with cornerbacks down the sideline in those nail-biting fourth-quarter moments that make Niners faithful hold their breath. The man has 11 straight 1,000-yard seasons. 11 before injury slowed him last year. And here's where it gets even juicier for San Francisco fans. The 49ers wide receiver room is in flux. The team could be moving on from Brandon Ayuk, Jawan Jennings, and Kendrick Bourne as free agency reshapes the roster. There's a giant slot in the offense, a space just begging for a true alpha receiver who can command respect and redefine the passing attack. Think about it. You get Evans' size, his red zone prowess, his veteran leadership, and suddenly Brock Purdy has a massive new weapon to throw to in clutch moments. Imagine the storytelling. Veteran meets contender. Legend meets world championship window. It's NFL drama at its finest. Now, does he come? How much will it cost? Will the Niners swing the market? The answers aren't here yet, but the possibility alone is enough to send shockwaves through the NFC. A true playmaker like Evans joining an already elite squad. That's the kind of headline that gets fans out of their seats and rival defenses shaking in their cleats. So buckle up, Niners faithful. This offseason just turned from intriguing into absolutely electric, and the Mike Evans story could be the blockbuster twist nobody saw coming.
All right, Niners faithful, buckle up, because this draft rumor, this one could shake the entire first round. League whispers are starting to grow louder that the San Francisco 49ers are not planning to sit back and play it safe on draft night. No, the word around insiders is that San Francisco could be preparing an aggressive trade-up into the top 10 to target a game-changing defensive superstar. And not just any prospect, we're talking about a freak athlete, a defensive monster, the kind of hybrid edge rusher who can line up outside, slide inside on third down, and absolutely terrorize quarterbacks. The type of player scouts are calling the next defensive face of a franchise. Why would the 49ers do this? Simple. Windows don't stay open forever in the National Football League. When you're this close to a championship, you don't draft for depth, you draft for dominance. The rumor suggests San Francisco is willing to package their first-round pick, a future Day 2 selection, and possibly even more to leapfrog QB-needy teams and defensive line-hungry franchises. The goal? Secure a defensive cornerstone who can eventually take over games the way elite pass rushers do in January. Imagine this. It's draft night. The camera cuts to the 49ers war room, phones ringing, trade graphics flashing across the screen, analysts stunned. The 49ers have moved up. Social media explodes, and then the commissioner steps to the podium and announces that San Francisco has selected the most explosive defensive talent in the class. Instant impact, instant pressure, instant fear across the NFC. And here's the scary part. It makes sense. The 49ers have built a reputation for identifying elite defensive talent. When they believe in a prospect, they don't hesitate. If they truly see a future All-Pro sitting there within striking distance, why wouldn't they go get him? Championship teams don't wait. They attack. This rumor might just be smoke, or it might be the first spark before a draft night wildfire. But if San Francisco pulls the trigger on a blockbuster trade-up, it won't just be a pick. It will be a statement. The 49ers aren't rebuilding, they're reloading, and they might be one bold move away from unleashing the next defensive nightmare on the NFL. Draft night could get very, very loud in the Bay. Don't forget to drop your like and subscribe for more. My name is Chris, and that's all for now.